then I'll get.
I think actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Welch
Welch
came
is
back. Senator Welch, I didn't see you come back in.
Thank you. So, Mr. Walter, I favor the provisions of the IRA that are being repealed. You're aware of what's going on there, right?
To some degree.
All right. I mean, if all the people you mentioned, all of the folks who you indicted for kind of using Ted Cruz's language, left-wing radical ideas, how do you distinguish between a person whose motivation is to be left-wing Chinese sympathizer and people who just disagree with the fossil fuel industry that climate change, in fact, is real and we have to do something about it? Can you explain to me?
Well, at the beginning of my oral testimony there, I made the distinction between whatever the intentions of various folks may be, they are objectively assisting China in its desire to compete with the United States.
Like the Hewlett Foundation?
Yes.
Seriously, Walter Hewlett, his foundation, you think is in bed with the Communist Party?
Well, that's not what I said, is it? I said that objectively they're aiding the Chinese communists, but I did not say that they themselves were communists.
Right, but what you're doing is denying them the ability to make their own judgment about what's good public policy for the benefit of this country by saying that they're, and this really is how I hear it, dupes of the Communist Party because what they're doing aligns, as you say, with the communists.
Well, they give a good deal of money, for instance, to the Energy Foundation China that the chairman has been discussing, which is run by a former Chinese communist official.
So by virtue, does China have any environmental problems?
It has grave environmental problems, yes.
So if there are some Chinese that want to deal with their environmental problems, and we agree that there are environmental problems, and we also know that climate change can't be solved by one country, and other countries start to do something about it, is that a problem for you?
Well, I have to say that I'm skeptical that former Chinese communist officials are interested in doing anything that would harm their country.
Who are some of the other names? I don't have your statement here that you said are in effect dupes, if I can translate what you're saying, of the Communist Party because their climate agenda, you say, is being funded by them.
I didn't talk about it being funded by them. And what I did explain for, I mean, there are very simple things. Massive U.S. government subsidies for products that use Chinese technology obviously is enhancing the Chinese economy.
Has the U.S. government, through its tax code, ever provided any incentives and tax preferences for the fossil fuel industry?
Yes, a great deal.
And you don't have a problem with that?
Well, I'm not an economist qualified to talk about the relative value of the subsidies, but I don't think that it's remotely deniable that we currently subsidize all sorts of green technology in which China is leading and therefore helping the Chinese.
So the fact that Senator Durbin here has solar panels, does that make him a communist sympathizer?
No, I don't think so, any more than my driving to this hearing today makes me a mass murderer or an accessory to mass murder.
You know, this is the issue I have. We've got a planet that's melting, all right? That's my view. The oil industry doesn't agree with that. They think everything's fine. And we went from a policy where it was all of the above to essentially a policy that everything below is where we're going to get our energy. And what I'm seeing in the arguments that you were making is you're trying to demean and disparage and discredit arguments by people who believe that we need a radically different policy. It does allow for the development of clean energy to reduce carbon emissions. That's what I'm hearing. And then one of the tools is to vilify folks who have that point of view, that they are dupes of the Communist Party that's trying to take us down. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you.